How's it going, everyone? ScaredieCat Vasquez back at it again with some Halloween shit for you. I just got done going through the most terrifying thing I'll possibly do for the rest of this Halloween season, unless something else comes along the way. But as of now, this was the most trippiest shit ever. I went through the 17th door this year, third time, 3 years in a row, and I'm seriously going to continue this as a tradition. Every year, as long as they're doing new stuff, I will go in there and I will scream my ass off for an hour or so, however long it takes. This time it felt like it took like almost 2 hours to get in there, to go through the whole thing. It was fun. I went with the bass player of this band I'm in. We had a good time. And he's now into extreme haunts now too. Because this isn't just your normal, not scary farm. You walk in, some people jump out, and they scream at you type of stuff. You have to, if you don't know about the 17th door, you have to sign a waiver to get in. And basically after that, after you hand them your waivers, anything goes. They're allowed to touch you. They're allowed to squirt water at you, whatever they have to do to you to get you scared. And I think it's a really fun thing to do. I remember my first year going, 2015, I heard about it. Just got done watching a documentary on Travel Channel about like haunted houses and like extreme, like different things to do. And of course, I heard about Blackout, which is like something that started in New York City. And now it's going into, I believe, Chicago, and I know for sure Los Angeles. And then I've heard about McKinney's Manor. Those people who already know about it, it's in San Diego. Again, 21 and over, must sign a waiver, and they McKinney's Manor is like the hands down the most extreme thing that you could ever possibly do. Me personally, I would never do it. I've met the guy, Russ. I've talked to him and everything like that. He's a really nice guy. I would never go through his manor because it is just torture upon torture and everything like that. It's just insane. But yeah, and Blackout is something a little bit different. You go through it alone, and it's like what it says. It's just completely pitch black, and then they kind of fuck with you. They do like grab you and stuff like that. What I like about Blackout though, it's not just gore and trying to hurt you. It's all about psychological horror, you know what I mean? Things that, would scare you on the inside, and that's something I'm really into, psychologically stuff, That's not even, I don't even know if I said that correctly. Stay in school, kids. But yeah, so I was like, after watching documentaries about that, I was trying to see what else is in California that I can possibly, man up and do, And I heard about 17th door. I dragged my cousin and a really old friend of ours that we both known since like fourth grade, you know what I mean? So we dragged him along with both of us, and the day me and my cousin bought the tickets, we sat down and read the waiver together. And there was things going for like, you might be exposed to electric shock, you will be exposed to scenes regarding rape, incest, satanic worshiping, and I'm just like, what the hell, me and my cousin both grew up Christian, so it's like hearing all that, I was like, what the fuck? We were scared shitless, and we were thinking to ourselves, what did we just sign up for? We were like hesitant on clicking the submit button, to like actually pay for everything, but we did it. We're like, fuck it, Wu-Tang, let's do this shit. And at the end of the night, we both were like, I was really excited that we did it. It was really intense for me. My cousin and my friend, I think they liked it. I'm not too sure exactly of if we're on the same level, because my cousin's not really into scary movies and horrors and shit. Yeah, we had a good time. Honestly, the very first time I went, they shoved me in a locker, or like a closet. I don't know, it was like a box type of room, really closed up together, and that they were fucking with me in there. And I just remember being cramped up in there with someone else, one of the actors, and everything like that, and they're just fucking with me, like, you know, trying to get me to say the safe word, which was mercy, for those who don't know. And I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna say it, I'm not gonna say it. They have, some of the actors have like duct tape around their hands with dead cockroaches and crickets on it, and they're brushing my cheeks with it. I'm like, getting triggered right there, you know. And they're like, you know, they're taking me out of the locker, and then they shoved a syringe of what tasted like peach tea, like from like the Arizona peach tea. But just the fact that I didn't know what it was at first was scary to me, you know what I mean? It was just really horrifying, like them just, like, I felt like I was getting the most like picked on because I was the most fearful, which I am. I'm a bitch when I go into haunted houses, but that's what I pay for. I pay to get scared, and I get my money's worth every single time, you know what I mean? So it was just really intense, and I still think of it to this day, like, not in a way of like, oh my god, it's so terrifying what they did to me, as in a, oh my god, I can't believe I did that shit, you know what I mean? Like, it was so much fun, and every year I hope that it gets more and more intense, and it does. Last year, for the second time when I went, it was pretty intense. I still have the t-shirt for it and everything. I remember a lot of it. It was just the topics itself were just, you know, pretty grotesque and like pretty like in your face and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go into too much about it, but you know, it was really fun, and the whole thing's like a mosh pit. Think of it like that. It's like they're just shoving you into different places and things, and putting things in your face, and saying just like things like you won't expect to hear, like especially like at haunted attractions, you know what I mean? It's like like you'll never hear half of the stuff that they tell you at Not Scary Farm and stuff like that. Not saying that, like, you know, Not Scary Farm shit is weak. No, it's pretty terrifying too, but compared to the 17th Door to anything else, nah, it'll never like match up, unless Not Scary Farm brings back, like, you know, that trap maze that they did back in like 2014, I believe it was the last year they did it, and you know, they bring that back and, like, you know, kind of make it a little bit more interesting. I read the reviews about it, didn't do too well, you know. A lot of people didn't like it, but then again, a lot of people that go to Scary Farm, a lot of people that go to Not Scary Farm, they only expect just to, like, you know, walk around and someone scream at them. They're not expecting some hands-on shit, you know. So coming down to this year's 17th Door was amazing. It was a different theme, it was a different location, and it scared the shit out of me. It was right behind a 99-cent store, which is just like, wait, me and my friend had to walk down an alley, and we're just like, dude, what the fuck? And it's like, it wasn't that busy that night, so it's like you couldn't tell that there was an event going on. It just looked like a bunch of people were just hanging around, you know. And then you see, like, you know, the actors and everything, like, walking around the parking lot scaring shit out of people. It was fun. We were told numerous times that we were gonna get wet. I didn't read the waiver through this year. After I read the waiver my first time going, and how I was like hesitant about it, I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go in blindly. I'm just gonna sign the fucking away, you know, which is not really a good thing to do, because luckily my friend told me about some stuff, which I'll get into later, that, you know, I should have read up on. And so we go, and he's telling me that, like, hey, oh, you should leave your phone in the car. I didn't, because I wanted a Snapchat story about it, which I didn't. And right when we get in, like, you know, they're telling us the rules and everything, like, we can touch you, you can't touch us. And then they get to this one rule where it's, if you sit down in certain chairs, you might get a haircut. Well, not might, you will get a haircut. And I was like, wait, haircut? What? No, what the fuck is this? Because that's the borderline shit that McKinney Manor does. Like, you know, at one point you will get your head shaved off. You know what I mean? Not your head, your hair shaved off. You know, so it was pretty trippy to hear that, and I was like, what? And then my friend showed me the waiver before we turned it in. He's like, dude, look, see? I told you should have read that shit through. I'm like, fuck, dude. Alright, and so we decided that whole night we weren't going to sit down at anything. And like, you know, there are some rooms where they have you sit down that you're not going to get your haircut, but it's just hard to tell. You know, so we were just like, let's keep it safe and not sit down at all. Basically, it was this character that they have called the Barber, and, you know, you sit down on a barber's chair, or like any chair, I don't know, and you get your hair cut. And so after we got told that rule, we got into another room where there's like it was in a prison theme, so it was like the warden of the prison. He was like telling us like you know, all the other rules again. They kind of go over the rules like, you know, 2 or 3 times because they want you to understand what you have to do. Red means stop, green means go. You can't touch us, we can touch you, because they don't want no trouble. They want to keep the machine going. Basically, just like they want to keep pushing people through, getting them out so we can get more people in. You know, which is good, because the one thing I always hate at a haunted house is when like the line backs up and you're kind of like in this conga line type of style, and you can kind of see everything that's coming through. I like it when places do groups by groups, no matter how small, how big, y'all go together. You guys came in the same car together, you're going into hell together, you know what I mean, type of shit. But, you know, sometimes it doesn't work that way, because some people, you know, they don't really explain the rules too much, or some people just don't listen. But with the 17th door, they make you listen, because the warden told me and my friend to sit down, and me and him, being the way we are, we're just like, fuck you, I ain't gonna sit down. And it was just like, he was just like, sit down. And I'm like, no, I don't want to get a haircut. And then he was just like, I don't have any clippers. And I just replied back like, why don't I believe you, motherfucker? And then he grabs my shirt, he grabs me by my shirt, and then he grabs me by my shoulders, and then he pushes me up against the wall and starts fucking whipping me with like a rubber tube. I don't know what the fuck it was, but that shit hurt. He got me on my butt a little bit, he got me on my legs, which really fucking hurt. But it was funny though. It wasn't like, you know, beat the shit out of your children type of whip, you know. It was more like a playful type of stuff, but it still hurt. Like, maybe I'm just weak, you know what I mean? But it was really fun. The whole rest of the maze was really fun. They really focused on like claustrophobia and isolation, because 3 times we've been split up in our groups, and 2 or 3 times we got put into closed environments, like closed up environments, like, you know. And then they came to this one part where finally the water part came in. They made us climb through a tube. It was like a Chuck E. Cheese type of tube, you know, like the kids go through in the play area. Made us climb through there, and there was a part where I guess I got stuck at, I don't know, but they started filling the tube up with water, like just like flooded it in, you know what I mean? And I got freaked out, and so like I tried to run out as quick as I can, and then I hurt my knee like really bad on there. So for the next when I went back to work the next day, like, you know, I was like kept like you know, rubbing my knee because it hurt. My coworker's like, what's wrong, dude? And I told him what happened. He's just like, fuck, that's crazy. But yeah, they did that. What I thought was funny though was and I'm not saying that they're racist or anything like that, but what I thought was funny was it was a prison theme, and a lot of the males, like at least like 2 or 3 of the male inmate characters, which there's only like a handful of them, you know what I mean? They were really stuck on the stereotypical Mexican inmate, you know, like where you from, fools, like, you know, like all that type of stuff, you know. And I thought that was funny that like most of the male inmates were talking to us in Mexican accents, and my friend didn't even think about it until I mentioned it once we were driving back home. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. Like I'm not telling them that they shouldn't do that. Keep on doing it, by all means. Make it even funnier. What I'm surprised of, none of them did like a blood in, blood out, give me that chon chon type of fucking movie reference thing, you know. Other than that, it was really fun. We're gonna do it again sometime this year again, like before the Halloween season's over. I really want to get him into Creep LA, because last year they did so fucking well. And I think that was their first year too. It was their first like debut fucking shit, you know? And it was all the rage, people were loving it. So we're thinking about doing that. If Blackout ever comes to LA, I would really love to do that. I'm looking in on doing the Alone experience, but there's some rumors saying that it might be only in Australia. And I did the Alone experience once before, like about a year ago at Midsummer Scream, and it was pretty fun. It was a scavenger hunt mixed in with like a haunt thing type of stuff. What they did was you would have to wait. They had a table, they had like a booth, but no one was there. So we're like, who do we talk to? I started noticing that I would see people like kind of like fixing the cloth of the table, and then I would try to go up to them like, oh, excuse me, do you work for the Alone Experience? Like, you know, like trying to see like, where do I sign up, you know? Because everyone's like, this is the second day of the convention. I was hearing about it all day yet, like the day before, like saying like, dude, if you're gonna do anything, do the Alone Experience, do Blackout's VR experience, which I did, which is fucking awesome. I got to meet one of the main guys who like, you know, who runs that shit, and I thought that was pretty awesome. Yeah, and so like I was like, alright, bet, like let's fucking do it. So me and my friend that I took with me, we were like looking around for them, like, oh, what the hell, like, and like they were just walking away from us. They didn't want to talk to us, or they'll just be like, let me go talk to someone over here, and like I would be like, okay, and then like they would like try to run away. And that was the creepy part to me. It's like, why? Like, it's like either A, they don't want to do anything today. Like, you know, they're just like, it's the last day, fuck it. Which I don't blame them, you know what I mean? It's like they're probably tired. Or B, like this is part of the act, you know. So basically, we finally like, you know, after talking to someone like 3 or 4 times, like, you know, I was just like, hey, so how do we do this shit? Like, they're like, well, wait till the table lights up. Apparently, the table had a triangle that like lit it up when it was time, when you were able to like go in. So we're walking around the convention, but I'm keeping my eye, like we're not going away too far from the table, because I'm keeping my eye on there to see if it lights up, because I want to be the first one in there. And we were, like, you know, we got lucky right there. Like as soon as we started walking away, like, you know, after 5 minutes, table lit up. I go straight over there. I'm just like, it's lit, let's do it. And they're like, all right. And so we go there, and the guy said, they're like speaking in riddles. So he was saying like, oh, if you've already come past the entrance, the experience already began. I was like, that makes no sense. And then so like his partner was saying something that like you have to meet someone in the front of the convention outside. And we met someone, and there was a key thing, like everyone's dressed in white type of stuff. So we were looking for anyone dressed in white, and a few times we got told like, oh, are you part of the Alone Experience? And like people were just like looking at us like, the fuck, no. So we finally find the one chick we're supposed to talk to, and she gives us like a clue thing, like a clue. We read the clue, we go around. Basically, long story short, the clues lead us into this like kind of deep, far abandoned part of the parking structure that's underneath the convention center. And we get there, and I guess they didn't tell security what the fuck was going on, because as soon as me and my friend turn the corner, we see the group of people hiding behind like other cars, and we just see them running towards us, and we're just like, oh, hi. Like, me being nervous, I try to talk, you know, like try to make a joke. I'm like, oh, hey, are you guys part of the... And before I can even finish, someone blindfolds me with a piece of cloth. Blindfolds me with a piece of cloth, which I still have to this day. And as soon as that happens, security like rolled up on their little go-kart, and it was a lady. From what I heard, it sounded like a lady, and she was like, the fuck is going on over here? And the people are like really stuck in character, so they're not talking. They're not talking at all. No one's saying anything. And then I finally just like come up, just like, we're from the convention upstairs. This is a little haunted attraction that's going on and stuff like that. So yeah, and the lady asked, did you guys sign up for this? Are you allowing this to happen to you? And we're just like, yeah. And then the woman just like, she just like stays quiet and was just like, okay, I guess. And then she just drives off on her go-kart, which I thought was pretty fucking funny, because she's probably thinking like, why the fuck is he allowing them to do this? It's what I get asked a lot by my family when I tell them that like all the other haunted houses I've done or I plan on doing. So yeah, it's pretty funny. And then they like finally like sat us down, and I guess they finger painted us, like they like painting like, you know, like lines and stuff like that, weird symbols and shit like that. And they like escorted us into this other like hallway where the stairs, like there was like a room with like the stairs leading upwards. So we had to go up those stairs after they gave us clues. and we had to walk around basically in downtown Long Beach, like the Pike area and Shoreline Village and everything, just looking for clues with our faces all painted. And it was pretty trippy. Like, you know, we were supposed to do it alone, but a lot of people do this. They like, after they get let go, they kind of wait for their friend that was like behind them. So my friend waited for me while I was going up, and it was just funny. We were just like walking around like, oh, what the fuck do we do? And people are staring at us, because right next to the convention is the Hyatt, there's a fucking hotel, I can't pronounce the name. And we're just like walking right by the lobby, and the people are just staring at us like, what the fuck are these guys doing? You know what I mean? And it's like a pretty like nice sunny day, and it's like, you know, everyone's out at the beach with their family and stuff like that. They're looking at us like, the fuck these boys have like face paint on, you know? You know, after we find out all the clues and everything like that, we got blindfolded again by another dude that was waiting for us. And what I thought was scary was we had to walk across, if you're familiar with the Long Beach area, there's that bridge that leads from like this spiral staircase to the convention that goes right over like the main road. I think it's PCH, or no, it's not PCH, it goes right over the main road that kind of like you can get to the Pike and everything like that. And we had to walk across that, and it's a pretty big bridge, but because I was blindfolded and like, you know, I had to hold on to the ledge, and just something about being over like the main road with cars coming, you can hear them like, you know, going in all fast and all that stuff, pretty freaked me out. And so yeah, after we did all that, we were just standing around just like, what do we do now? My friend took off his blindfold. He's like, I don't see anyone. It's like, is this it? Is this like the end? And I was like, I don't know, like I'm gonna keep my blindfold on for like a little bit longer just to see what if there's like someone gonna, you know, like what if like, you know, we're supposed to just wait here for someone. And we were, and I was like, after like 2 minutes, I was just like, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna take mine off. I'm like lifting it up, and I just see my friend just going like, oh my fuck, watch out. And I kind of quickly turn behind me, and it's a guy running towards me fast speed, and he hugs me, and he's holding on to me, and I'm thinking like, oh fuck, I'm getting mugged right now. And I'm like, hey, who the fuck are you right now, dude? Like, and he's just like, you know, just breathing heavily, and he's like kind of laughing, and then he starts like brushing the back of my head, and I'm thinking like, oh, he's probably working with the alone experience, he's trying to make me feel uncomfortable, which fucking worked, you know. And then he like writes, you know, he lets go of me, and he pats me on the back, and he's like laughing, and he writes like something on my arm, and it's the table number to go back to the table where we first started. And we went there, and I'm telling the lady that was helping us earlier was like kind of talking to us. I was like, hey, you know, we're back, and she's like, all right, cool. And then she's like, so did you get like all the clues and everything like that? I was like, yep. And like, you know, and she saw the handwritten on our arms to show that we like did everything. And then she was just like, okay, cool. And she lifts up the tablecloth, and then she's like, get in. I'm like, what? She's like, get in. And I was like, what? And then so I crawl, so then she's like saying, crawl the fuck in. And I'm like, I crawl the fuck in, and you know, I'm thinking like there's nothing after this table. We're right up against the wall. Nope. Lifts up another curtain. There's a guy, grabs me by my arms, yanks me the fuck out, and then he quickly puts like a beanie over my head, and then he like lays me on the floor. Like I'm still on the floor, but he like flips me over. I'm on my back, and I don't know what the fuck was going on, but yeah, it was crazy. And then he has me walking around like half the convention with the blindfold on and everything like that, and I can hear people walk by me, and I can feel him push me. And then what he does, he takes one of my shoes and he's just holding on to it. So I'm walking around half the convention barefoot, like with one shoe on, you know, so it's weird. I can feel the coldness of the floor. I almost get my toes stepped on by other people walking by. It was just weird. And I finally, like, you know, they push me up against the wall, and then they say, all right, you can take off the blindfold now. So I take it off, and I see one of the scare actors there, like in a mask and everything like that, and he was just standing in front of me, and he had my shoe. I was like, oh, my shoe. Hey, what's up, man? And he throws my shoe over my shoulder, and I guess this was I don't know if it was planned out, but he throws it, and it hits the wall and it falls, and it kind of lands near a flyer to the Alone experience for that year, which I thought that was pretty fucking cool. And I tried getting tickets to that, but just because of work and everything at the time, I wasn't able to. I regret it, but I'm hoping for this year they're doing something. They're doing something in LA. I can't wait to do it. Same thing with Blackout 2. I'm really excited to do that. A little freaked out though. That one, I know I'll hesitate for. I know you guys are probably thinking oh my god, shut the fuck up about haunts and stuff like that, but this is one thing, this is the one time a year, it's sad to say this, but this is the one time a year me and my girlfriend get really excited, because she loves Halloween too, and so do I, and it's funny because our anniversary is in April. So it tells you a little bit about us. We get really happy for the Halloween stuff. She likes it because all the gothic looking stuff like that are out, the decorations and all that stuff. I like that too, but I'm more into the haunted houses and the way they construct it, the way they built it, they prep everything up, the music and that they using for it, the lighting, all that stuff. Just the whole concept of haunted houses. I just fucking love it. I've seen documentaries about it. There's this one they used to play on Travel Channel called The American Scream, The Great American Scream. It's about people who do home haunts, where they use their own money and they build haunted houses in their backyards, and they come out to be fucking amazing. And I've been through one or two of them growing up, and it's pretty fucking cool. And I've seen the one about the most extreme haunts in America. I've met some of the people who run it, who own the business. I've met the guy, like I said, I've met Russ McKinney, real nice guy. His wife is nice too. She was kind enough to take a picture of us at Midsummer Scream. I've met the guys from Screenshot Productions, which it's not an extreme haunt, but it's more an immersive theater, which is one other thing I'll get into, which I think is gonna take the place of just normal ass plays, and it should, because you want to be part of the story. Everyone wants that connection with the story. You either find some sort of connection with the character, they're oh, we're the same as this. This brings it to a whole new level. You are now having some part in the story as well too, which I think is pretty fucking cool. It really helps you understand the story a little bit better too. Who else have I met? I've met a few of the workers for the Heretic Horror House, which is something that's it's behind McKinney's Manor. It's in between McKinney's Manor and Blackout, between Extreme, because they're doing some crazy shit. I've seen the pictures, I've seen the videos that they post on their Instagram, which you should go follow them if you're into shit like this. They're really cool people, but they do some pretty crazy shit, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna get into what they're doing, because I've never experienced it myself, so I have no say. But yeah, that's why I can talk on for hours and hours, which I won't for this video, because no one's gonna watch it, even though no one's gonna watch it already. But I wouldn't want to make an hour-long video just talking about haunts unless I had some people with me, a podcast type of deal, you know what I mean? But if it's just me, no, I don't want to bore you guys too much. But it's just a pretty amazing thing to do. You're bringing something to life, and it's pretty cool. But anyways, I'll end the video right here because I don't want to go on too much about it. I'm working on some gameplays right now, so you'll be seeing those probably sometime this week. If anything, I'm doing some more scare reaction videos and everything like that. I'm going to Not Scary Farm this Thursday, so you'll be able to see that. I'm gonna film it, save the videos, and turn it into a vlog. I'm not gonna vlog too much because I'm going with family, and I don't want to really want to film. I'm pretty sure they don't want to be filmed the whole fucking time. I don't want to bring my camera with me. I'm just gonna bring my phone and just film it there. So the audio and the video won't be that good, but it'll be just as good as what I have right now, which is, it's fine. and so you'll be able to see that. If you haven't already seen the gameplays I've done before for Don't Knock Twice, again, I recommend checking it out if you're into scary horror games. You know, it was a pretty scary fucking game. I still talk about it to my friends, like, you know, when we talk about video games and shit like that together. You know, like and subscribe if you want to see some more. Hit that notification bell, especially if you want to know when I'm going to be posting about more shit. I really appreciate it. If you want to follow me on Instagram too, so that way you can get, like, you know, on the day of, like, videos on the same day of the events I go to, at ScaredieCat Vasquez on Instagram. You know, send me a friend request, and, you know, you'll be able to see all that shit. You'll get updates onto new videos, you know, random live events and stuff like that. But again, if you are watching today, thank you so much for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you guys in the next video.